topic is about the nature of the roots of quadratic equations. Okay, the nature of the roots of quadratic equation. The value of the expression b squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant of the quadratic equation ex squared plus bx plus c. So, if nakuha mo na yung value dito sa b squared minus 4ac, yung value na yun ay tinatawag na discriminant. This value can be used to describe the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. So, if nakuha mo na yung value or nakuha mo na yung discriminant, yung value na yun is magagamit mo siya to describe if what is the nature of the roots of the given quadratic equation. So, ang nature sa roots, it can be, ang value ng roots, it can be 0, positive and perfect square, positive but not perfect square, or negative. So, there are 4 things that we need to consider in finding the roots of the quadratic equation. So, number 1, when b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the roots are real numbers and are equal. So, if ang discriminant daw is equal to 0, ibig sabihin, ang roots niya are real numbers and equal. Yeah, real numbers and equal. So, example number 1. Example, x squared minus 16x plus 64 is equal to 0. So, titingnan mo muna if ang given quadratic equation is nasa standard form na ba. If hindi pa siya naka-standard form, ita-transform mo siya to standard form. But if nasa standard form na siya, hindi na kailangan. So, the given equation here, it is already in standard form, ex squared plus bx plus c. So, no need mo na siyang i-transform pa to standard form. Then, next, we are going to find the values of a, b, and c. So, as you can see, I put colors in each terms. Sa first term, ito is light blue. This one is green. This one is violet. So, diligyan ko siya ng colors para maintindihan nyo na yung terms na yan, that is ax squared, then this one is bx, then this one is c. So, ito, ang value ng a is 1 dito. Diba, ax squared natin is ito, x squared. Then, if walang katabing ibang numbers yung x squared, ibig sabihin 1 na yung coefficient niya. Then, b, itong second term is negative 16. Kung ano yung operation na katabi ng number, yun din yung sign niya. So, minus, ibig sabihin, negative yung sign ng 16. So, b is negative 16. Then, last, at RC is 64. So, plus yung katabi niya na operation, ibig sabihin, positive din yung sign ng 64. So, we have na the values of A, B, and C. Next, we are going to substitute the values in the formula of discriminant. B squared minus 4AC is equal to RB is negative 16. Yan. So, negative 16 squared. Meron siyang squared kasi sa formula, meron ding squared. So, lagyan mo din siya ng squared. Minus, copy 4, kasi constant na yan, 4 times A. A is 1, yan, 1. Then C is positive 64, then 64. Next, negative 16 squared. It is not negative 16 times 2, ha? It is negative 16 times negative 16. So, the result is positive 256. Then this one, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Then negative 4 times 64 is 256. then minus 256 minus 256, it is equal to 0. Since the discriminant is equal to 0, okay, since b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are real and equal. So, 0 man yung discriminant, ibig sabihin yung roots niya is real and equal. Okay, another example. Example number 2. X squared minus 18x plus 81 is equal to 0. Okay, same lang gihapon, no? Na standard form na siya. So, next is, we are going to find the values of A, B, and C. So, RA here, the first term is 1. Yan, 1. Then B, minus 18, so negative 18. Then, the last term, which is C, is plus 81, so positive 81. Then, next, we are going to substitute na the values to the formula. So, b squared minus 4ac is equal to RB is negative 18. So, negative 18 squared minus 4. Copy lang 4 ha kasi constant na yan. 4. A is 1. Yan. Then, C is positive 81. So, negative 18 squared is negative 18 times negative 18. Hindi siya negative 18 times 2 ha. So, negative 18 times negative 18 is equal to positive 324. Then, this one, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. The negative 4 times 81 is negative 324. Kung ano yung sign niya, yun din yung operation. So, 324 minus 324 is equal to 0. Okay. So, since b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are real and equal. So, real and equal ang roots ng given quadratic equation kasi 0. Okay, the second that we need to consider, when b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 or a positive number, ibig sabihin greater than 0, so all positive numbers, and a perfect square. So, dapat daw, if ang value daw ng discriminant is greater than 0, positive number siya, and dapat din perfect square. Kapag sinasabi nating perfect square, guys, meron siyang square root. Ang square root niya dapat whole number. For example, square root of 16. So, yung square root niya is 4. Pag sinabi natin square root of 15, hindi siya perfect square kasi hindi whole number yung lalabas, kundi decimal. So, perfect square siya if yung square root niya is whole number. So, if ang value daw is greater than 0 or positive number niya, perfect square, then the roots are rational but are not equal. So, rational but hindi equal. So, I have here an example. Example number 1. X squared plus 3x is equal to negative 2. So, as you can see, hindi pa siya naka-standard form, diba? Kasi ang standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. So, ang next natin gagawin, iti-transform muna natin siya to standard form. So, yan. So, from x squared plus 3x is equal to negative 2, magiging x squared, copy lang, x squared plus 3x. Then, itong negative 2, i-transpose natin to the right side. From negative 2, magiging positive 2 is equal to 0. So, na-standard form na siya, diba? X squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So, next, we are going to find na the values of A, B, and C. So, our A here is 1. Ito yung, ang A is ang first term, yan, 1. Then, B is the second term, so plus 3. So, the value is positive 3. Then, our C is the last term or the third term, plus 2. So, positive 2. Next, substitute substitute lang the values of A, B, and C sa formula. So, our B is 3. So, 3 squared minus 4. Copy lang 4 ha kasi constant na siya. A is 1, then C is 2. So, 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9. Then, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So, minus 8. 9 minus 8 is equal to 1. So, if kukunan natin ng square root ang 1, square root of 1 is equal to 1. So, whole number. Ibig sabihin, perfect square siya. Therefore, since b squared minus 4ac is a positive number and a perfect square, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are rational and unequal. Okay, example number 2. Excuse me. 4t squared minus 19t minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, the given quadratic equation is already in standard form. So, no need mo na siyang i-transform to standard form. Next is we are going to find na the values of A, B, and C. So, our A is the first term. So, mayroon siyang katabi na number 4. Mayroon siyang coefficient na 4. Then, positive 4, diba? Kasi wala naman nakalagay na minus. So, positive 4. Then, B is minus 19. So, negative 19. Then, C is minus 5. So, negative 5. Next, substitute lang the values of A, B, and C sa formula. So, our B is negative 19 squared minus, minus, copy lang 4 kasi constant 4. A is 4, times C is negative 5. So, negative 19 squared, negative 19 times negative 19 is positive 361. The negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. The negative 16 times negative 5 is positive 80. So, 361 plus 80 is equal to 441. If kukunan natin ng square root ang 441, square root of 441 is 21. So, ibig sabihin, perfect square siya kasi whole number yung lalabas. So, since b squared minus 4ac is a positive number and a perfect square, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are rational and unequal. So, yan ha. Excuse me. Next, number 3. When b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 or a positive number but not a perfect square, then the roots are irrational and are not equal. So, yung number 2 kanina, positive number but perfect square. Ito naman, positive number pero hindi dapat siya perfect square. So, if ang value is greater than 0 or a positive number and not a perfect square, ibig sabihin yung roots niya are irrational and unequal. So, I have an example. Example number 1, 4m plus m squared is equal to 1. So, not in standard form. So, we are going to transform pa the given quadratic equation to standard form. So, from this one, magiging m squared. So, ilalagay na natin itong m squared sa first term, m squared. Pero hindi yung sign niya hindi ma-change kasi hindi naman siya transpose to other side. Yung ano lang niya, yung position niya doon sa, or anong tawag dyan? Yung position na is change lang ng konti from second term kasi nasa ano lang siya nasa left side lang siya. Then i-change lang natin yung position niya kasi dito sa original na equation nasa second term siya. So, ilalagay natin siya sa first term. So, hindi na kailangan i-change pa yung sign niya. So, from positive lang din. M squared, yan. Same with 4m at change lang natin yung position na from first term to second term. So, positive 4m plus 4m. Then, ito na yung change ang sign kasi from right side, i-transpose natin siya to the left side. So, from positive, magiging negative 1. So, m squared plus 4m minus 1 is equal to 0. So, nasa standard form na siya. So, we are going to find na the values of a, b, and c. Okay, yan. So, our value of a is 1. A has the first term, then b plus 4, so positive 4. Then c is minus 1, so negative 1. Then, substitute to the to the formula. So, b squared, our b is 4. So, 4 squared minus, copy lang 4 kasi constant na siya. A is 1. Then, c is negative 1. So, 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16. The negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. So, 16 plus 4 is equal to 20. So, if we are going to find the square root of 20, hindi siya whole number, decimal. Meron siyang decimal. So, hindi siya perfect square. So, since b squared minus 4ac is a positive number but not a perfect square, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are irrational and unequal. Disregard na lang to ha. Hindi ko siya na-delete. Then, the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are irrational and unequal. Okay, another example. Example number 2. 6y squared minus 6y minus 1 is equal to 0. So, the given equation is already in standard form. So, next is we are going to find na lang the values of a, b, and c. Sorry, yung arrow na sa taas. Hindi ko siya na-edit. Hindi ko na malayan. Okay? A is equal to 6. Yan, yung first term, 6. B is minus 6, so negative 6. Then, C is minus 1, so negative 1. Then, substitute lang the value to the formula. B squared, so our B is negative 6, so negative 6 squared minus 4, copy lang 4. Then, A is 6, yan, times C is negative 1. So, negative 6 squared, negative 6 times negative 6 is equal to positive 36. Then, negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. Negative 24 times negative 1 is positive 24. Yan. So, 36 plus 24 is equal to 60. The square root of 60 is not a whole number, so hindi siya perfect square. Therefore, since b squared minus 4ac is a positive number but not a perfect square, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation are irrational and unequal. Disregard lang to ha. Are irrational and unequal. Okay, next. Number 4. When b squared minus 4ac is less than 0 or a negative number, less than 0, it means all negative numbers. Then the quadratic equation has no real roots. So, if ang value is negative number, then ang roots is, then yung quadratic equation, wala siyang real roots. So, example number 1, p squared plus 5p plus 8 is equal to 0. So, naka-standard form na siya. Next is, we are going to find na lang the values of a, b, and c. So, our a is 1, yan, 1. Then, b is plus 5, so positive 5. Then, c is plus 8, so positive 8. Then, next, substitute the values to the formula b squared. So, our b is 5. So, 5 squared minus 4. Copy lang 4 ha, kasi constant minus 4. A natin is 1. Then, c is positive 8. So, 5 squared, 5 times 5 is 25, diba? Minus 4 times 1, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Then, negative 4 times positive 8 is negative 32. So, 25 minus 32 is equal to negative 7. Bakit siya negative 7? Okay, kasi mas malaki yung value ng 32 kaysa sa 25. Then, ang sign ng 32 is negative. So, sundin natin yung sign ng pinakamalaking number. So, that's why negative 7. Okay, since b squared minus 4ac is a negative number, excuse me, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation has no real roots. So, wala siyang totoong roots. Okay, has no real roots. Then, example number 2. Wait lang. Example number 2. 11 minus 3x plus x squared is equal to 0. So, kailangan pa natin siyang i-arrange. So, nunid nang ma-change yung sign niya kasi i-arrange lang natin yung position niya. Kasi, di ba, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Dapat yung mauuna is yung x squared. Hindi pa siya nasa standard form ha, kasi yung standard form natin ay x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So, from here, i-arrange lang natin siya. No need nang ma-change yung operation niya kasi same lang, nasa left side lang siya. Ang ginawa lang natin is, yung position lang niya, sinwitch lang natin. Or, yeah. So, x squared, dito sa original equation, nasa last term siya. So, ilalagay natin siya sa first term. So, positive x squared pa rin. Then, ito, same lang, nasa middle term or second term, minus 3x. Then, itong positive 11, ilalagay natin siya sa last term. So, same lang din. Positive 11 is equal to 0 or plus 11. X squared minus 3x plus 11 is equal to 0. Since na standard form na siya, so we are going to find na the values of A, B, and C. So, yan. So, RA is 1. Yan, 1. Then, B minus 3, so negative 3. Then, C plus 11, so positive 11. So, I substitute lang the values of A, B, and C sa formula. So, B is negative 3. So, negative 3 squared minus, copy lang 4 ha, kasi constant 4. A, ito, A is 1, then times C is positive 11. So, positive 11. Negative 3 squared, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Then, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 11 is negative 44. Kung ano yung sign ng number, yun din yung operation niya. So, negative man, ibig sabihin yung operation niya is minus. So, 9 minus 44 is equal to negative 35. Okay. So, since b squared minus 4ac is a negative number, then the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation has no real roots. So, yun lang. If you have questions regarding on how to find the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation, just comment down below. And if kung meron kayong suggestion kung ano yung susunod kong i-discuss, just comment down below. Okay, I hope meron kayo natutunan sa vlog na ito. Then, thank you for watching. Bye!